Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Bulldozer Investing. Today is January 25th, 2021. It is 7:43 p.m. Now, before I begin the video, I'd like to conclude that this is for educational purposes only. My tickers that I review here are only to see technical points and technical teachings. Any ticker video, any ticker, any symbol, or any options we go over in the video is my opinion only, and it is not a trading advice or strategy. So please do your own due diligence and risk analysis before investing. Now let's begin. Today was an amazing day for us for the Journey account. We have done an incredible job. Now I have warned, or let's say informed everybody that yes, we have the big names, we have the big tech, there's the Amazons, the Apples, and everything, and I talked about how you can leverage your win by using the option and common strategy. But at the same time, I did say that if you do want to win more in this market, in this type of environment, you have to look for small caps that have somewhat of a large short float, and also a solid company. Now regardless, now it really doesn't matter on the company because the short squeeze comes, it just burns. So this has been our strategy, and we've been we had a truly amazing run today. Took all the options which I showed you on the previous video. I had some Apple, PLTR, and I don't know what other option I had, but I've sold all of them for a humongous profit. Remember, we bought the PLTRs at a low. I can't remember, either it was 180 or 225, something like that. I sold it for 785 this morning, and it went up to like 10. So almost a 5-6 bagger. On the other PLTR options, we had 200%. Apple options, I think more than 100%. Then we had the Apple Commons, Amazons. We sold them, and then our and I'll go over the other names, what we've done. But at the end of the day, to make the short story to make the long story short, we are over 32% today on the account. I'll go over the account at the end of the video, but let's go ahead and do our analysis for today. VIX. Now I had some requests to go over VIX during the day. Unfortunately, since I don't trade full-time and I have my full-time job, and sometimes when I'm busy it's hard to like get off of my job, and I'm also working from home with kids and everything. It's just such a constraint that I don't have the luxury of looking at these every second, unless market is at a critical point. I knew that the market is going to be positive, but I knew that our strategy was going to work anyways. So if you look, we're going to look at SPY. I don't know if SPY finished positive today. We'll take a look at that. But most of the stocks that are in my list, so let's take a look at some of the stocks in my list. More than half were red, actually, and some of the big cap names. Dow was pretty much red, and we see even Nasdaq barely finished. Like at what, QQQs were up like 1%, but I thought we were gonna have like a bigger day. SPY came back pretty good, but anyhow, what I wanted to say is, even we'll get the NEO, Uber, and everything. All these names. GE, I know it's going to have an earning call tomorrow morning. All these names are red, actually. It's the selective stocks at the bottom where I pick my things. Selective stocks that were only positive, like Moderna, like Beyond Meat with high percentage of shorts, Teladoc, great company, NVDA we've been talking about. So only the selective stocks. Now remember, market is not made up of only Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Facebook. We have other stocks. Okay. Well, not that I'm complaining that Apple had a great day, but we'll talk about it. But it's just that my point across is that you can make more money with the right stocks. Okay, not penny stocks. These are not penny stocks I'm talking about. Huge spike, by the way. We did cross over. So coming back to VIX, this is the 100-day moving average on the hourly. We even went over that. We went in the cloud. And then we close the day right around 23 something, 23.19. Now, as I was saying, this box right here is pretty supportive. And it seems like VIX wants to climb higher, But the 20-day moving average on the hourly seems like a resistance right now, and it's basically finishing right off of that. Let's take a look at the 4 hours. The 4 hours, let's see, finished closed above 61 point. Let me see where we closed. 23.19. So we did close below the 50%, but right on the 100-day moving average. So I believe VIX. Let's redo VIX, okay? I do believe that, I'm afraid to say this, but I think we're gonna have a sell-off after the big tech names. And don't be surprised if it's right after the day. So if, like, let's say Apple reports Wednesday or Thursday, let me see. 27th is Wednesday. So if Apple reports Wednesday after hours and they get a good earning, I would not be surprised if Thursday morning and Friday and the rest of the week on February we get a sell-off. I would not be surprised. Right now, VIX to be, so I like to also explain what VIX is. We used to say fear index, now they call it VIX, but volatility index. So it's also known as fear index. So the higher the VIX is, the lower the market is. So VIX has to drop in order for the market to be, so they're cut in order for market to be positive. So they kind of, yin and yang, one is positive, one is negative, one is negative, one is positive. So they balance each other out. This is just a definition of people who are average Joe, and I don't want to go into technicals too much, but I see that it's a rounding bottom. I think we're going to do a cup. So we have the cup actually, and we're going for a handle. And if we finish above 25 on VIX, I think we're going to see some bullish run on VIX. Now let's take a look at the hourly, or the daily, I'm sorry. I don't want to put fear into people, but I do think if we get, so on the daily, we're basically trying to get in this red cloud on Ichimoku cloud. Okay, so if we do get in, I think we could climb all the way up to 29 and even 30 on VIX. Now, let's say this, and I want to make sure that people are getting this right. I think that markets are gonna be due for a sell-off after the big tech earnings. Now, rather it be after Amazon earnings, like we go through like the first week of February, or right after Apple earnings. I'm not sure how that's gonna happen. Now, again, regularly I do get attacked from stock tweets and all these things. Like I do really think that there's some other reviewers or YouTubers or some stock tweet people that are doing all these videos. I think they're targeting me for some reason, and like I see one person commenting on like 10 different things I said in 1 minute apart. So it seems like a bot attack or something. But the guy complained about me getting a college education. First of all, I like to say that English is a second language to me. So if I do make any mistakes in my language, sorry for that. But the second thing is the guy has no clue that I finished my university, my major, with being the #1 student. So just have to say that. Information System Technology, UMBC, University of Baltimore County. I finished Information Systems Management being the #1 student of that graduate year. So just a side note that I did attend college and I do have a degree. The second thing is the guy said I was drawing random circles. I never draw circles on my chart, just to have you guys know. And if you guys are talking about these squares, you can see if you listen to my videos, I always draw these squares for 2 reasons. One, they're fib levels. Second, it's easier to understand rather than reading. So again, I'm doing this for average Joe. The guy said I don't know what RSI is and I don't even know what it means. It's relative strength index. Now, I don't have to sit through and explain what each of these stochastics, what is full, slow, and fast stochastics is. I don't have to sit and explain what MACD is. I could go through Bollinger Bands and all these things, right? I can go through the parts of Ichimoku and I'll go through all techniques. People are going to get bored, 1. 2, a lot of people don't care and they're not going to keep it in their mind. And 3, There are already lots of great sources on YouTube. I don't have to reinvent the wheel for that. Okay, so if you wonder if I'm talking about daily moving averages, simple moving average, or there's exponential moving averages and so forth, I don't want to sound so scientifical. So I'm kind of like, hate it or love it, I'm kind of like the Trump of the market. Simple English, simple terms. I don't want to be all scientifical and technical. I can if I want to. That's one thing, but how many people are going to get it? And it's not the intention of my video to act smart and say nothing. I'd rather look dumb and say the right thing than to act smart and say nothing. Okay, so just having said that and clear that through. Also, I'm thinking of getting out of stock tweets for that reason. Is just that there's so many bots, there's so many uneducated people just there to, I don't know what it is. They have like family problems or wife problems, and they go and blow off steam on innocent people. So I really think I'm going to get out of stock tweets for that reason. I'm sorry to say this, but I liked it. I was one of the first members of stock tweets, actually. When it first opened, nobody knew what it was. I don't know when it was, like 2013 when I was a member, but it's getting out of hand. So I think the FinTwit on Twitter is much more classy, with better people that are trying to learn. Of course, you're going to have some bad apples everywhere, but having said that, I just wanted to let you guys know that if you want me to be more technical, I can be tremendously technical. But then it's going to kill the purpose of me trying to explain to average Joe, average trader, people who are beginning this journey. They're not going to get anything. Okay, so that's not the purpose. I don't care if somebody's a college graduate, they have professors. First of all, I'm trying to use clean language, so I'm just holding myself because sometimes I really get mad at these types of things. We get institutions, funds that blow up, and there's so many Harvard graduates and all these, MIT graduates writing programs and quants and everything, right? They freaking get like 5% a year, all right? So it's not the education level for me, it's the mentality. It's how you can see and trade the future, not what's happening before. If you can predict, and somebody said, oh, you're just making up things. Of course, nobody knows the future. I'm not a god. I'm just trying to forecast with all the technicalities and mathematics. And if we're right, we're right. It's just an educational guess. I'm not claiming that, I'm guessing the future, I'm a fortune teller. Obviously not. And whoever is saying that is lying. Only reason these fib levels are hitting the spots is because whoever is controlling the market and all these trading computers are going off of the same things we're going off of. The Fibonacci levels, the extensions, the RSIs, stochastics, MACDs, some similar patterns. Like here we have, megaphone, okay, the descending wedge, and all these things, right? The programs are already knowing these patterns, and they're trading on what we're assuming. Now, of course, there's some liquidity issues. If there's some type of macro, micro economical issues, anything with government issues, foreign relation issues, then things to get triggered off and so forth. But that's not. We can't go into that detail. So having said that, this is what I'm thinking. VIX will one more time try after the earnings, this yellow box. So look to try, so VIX could go anywhere from $21.8 to $21. I'm guessing, again, I'm not saying it will happen. This is what I'm saying. VIX is clearly supportive on this level. And on the 4 hours, VIX is rounding off. We clearly see a rounding bottom, and I do believe that we're just going to shake off people from the market. And those new people that are getting in the market. You see this? I believe that it's gonna hit at least to 29, I said. And just a simple extension here, and again, I don't have to draw every extension to every single thing, but just so that people are wondering how market works. So somewhere around here, let's do a yellow box. Okay, so we're predicting that after February, after Amazon earnings, or right after Apple and Facebook earnings, we might see profit taking. Now today, I got a lot of comments about, you know, what happened? You didn't tweet. Sometimes, like on Fridays, I'm better with, you know, being more flexible at work, so I can tweet. However, today I was a little busy, and then plus, I had to act so quick, and I'm not a paying service. Like I don't really, you know, my purpose is free educational purpose only, and I don't do trading advice. So I can't really every 2 seconds go on Twitter and tell you what I buy and what I sell. I'll make a plan daily the day before, but if something's trigger, I'll try my best. But again, it's going to look like I'm doing buying recommendations. It's going to look like, you know, I'm telling people what to buy and sell. So I don't want to do that, okay? So VIX is done. Somebody asked, VVIX? Is this like a... I don't know what the difference... I honestly don't... I never use VVIX. I don't know if this is like some type of leverage VIX. To me, I'm just going to skip this, but maybe UVXY would be a better... UVXY will be better. And again, this is meant to just keep on, you know, if you look at the 5 years, don't think of this as a stock, okay? It'll be like, if you do this for years, it'll be like, you know, 2,000, 3,000 coming down to 10. Don't treat this as a stock. It's almost like a fear index. Now, obviously, we see, let me take a screenshot of this. I don't have a free drawing pen on this, so I have to like take a screenshot. And then with a custom, let's do blue pen, okay? Let's make the point maybe a little, what did I do? Customize. All right, so let's do blue, round, let's do thick point, okay? So we have, obviously, we do see a pennant, okay? And you could call it a flag, doesn't matter. This looks more like a, so flag would be something like this, okay? A pennant is more like this, more triangular, okay? This would be ascending flag, descending flag. Yeah. So the action will be here and then break out, okay? Action will be here and break down. You have the bull flag, which is the opposite, okay? So all these things you guys have to remember, and I posted the chart. I think, I don't know who it was, but somebody had also sent it. I just retweeted it. And I said the video before, it was a coincidence, but I'm just saying, go ahead and, you know, get familiar with all these patterns. So this is obviously a bullish pattern, a pennant, I would call, more than a flag. So MACD, it's waiting, it's about to cross over. Stochastics is about to turn around, and RSI is not there yet. Okay. So what I'm guessing is that most likely it'll do a false breakdown and then go up. So false breakdown will be after earnings of Apple, Facebook, and Tesla, and then go up. Or maybe just hang out here till Amazon and then go up. That's what I'm guessing. So just, I don't want to, you know, feed fear into people and sound pessimistic, but the gains we made today are unreal for me, for the account size. Okay, I was very happy, and I reached my February goal. I said this 2 months ago to be able to reach 25K. I'll tell you, we're over like 32. I think at one point we were 32,600, but I don't know what happened after that. We'll see. So having said that, let's look at SPY and see if, you know, SPY and VIX contradicts each other. Now I do see on the this is 15 minutes, so let's go ahead and do. I think the UVXY I just did was for 15 minutes too. So let me go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and do one thing. Let's zoom in. Now today's action. And a lot of people remember what I said today, Saturday's video. I said I was pretty surprised that I thought that we'd hit the yellow box, and we didn't, and we just did an inverse hammer. And look what happened. So if you're making fun of these yellow boxes, guys, I drew this last Wednesday, and I said that we might, or Thursday night, and I said that don't be surprised if we get a reset and touch this box, okay? And we did. So if you're thinking that I'm making these things up, of course, I'm guessing, but guessing on what? Mathematics, Fibonacci, okay? simple moving averages. Okay. Now I could use Bollinger Bands too, but I don't like to use Bollinger Bands with Ichimoku. It just gets all confusing. So I use either. Like if I use Bollinger, I don't use Ichimoku. Okay, so I just pick one or the other. So this is actually very bullish. However, we clearly see. So let's delete this. I thought that we way past this. So the yellow box target hit, got reset. So things are telling me. So VIX and SPY are on a 2 different level, guys. So what I'm seeing here is that SPY looks bullish and very supportive, but at the same time VIX is telling me that it could explode any second. So what we might see is like a breakout. I don't know if we're going to reach 390s, but I would take my profits any time of day. I would probably day trade. I would sleep comfortable, take my money out at the end of the day, and we'll go fishing the next morning. Okay, so I that's all I gotta say. And where could we go from this trend right here? So we could basically hit right around 386, 387. I'm not shorting the market, I'm just cashing out. So that's another thing. Because shorting the market is so dangerous, guys, at this level. So look at the 15-minute chart. Now, bam, if you had calls, bam, you're destroyed, and you're gonna panic and get puts, and then right after you get puts, bam, the market comes right at you. So be careful with that. And I do think that market is gonna go for a couple bullish runs again. Maybe after earnings. I see this. Let's take a look, and I'll see what patterns. I'll show you what patterns I can see. And you can agree, disagree, but constructive comment will be very nice. So we get the shoulder. So this is inverse head and shoulder. Okay. And then the neckline. So we might break out and go for another run. So the 15 minutes on the SPY looks bullish, but then the 15 minutes on the UVXY and VIX looks bullish. So I don't know what to say. VIX might go up and run again for 24. And I think the futures were running low anyway, so let me take a look at that. Yeah, futures picked up, so we might start like negative 0.5, so 0.5% off, and then get the VIX to the levels that it needs to be, and then go ahead and I think that's what the market is trying to do. It's like every time we start negative, so the VIX does its thing with what it's supposed to with technical wise, and then it just resets, and then bam, we pick up higher. But it's not going to go forever, guys. I believe the next run on, and again, I don't want to this is not a scare tactic, but just to have you guys see a couple things here, okay? On the 15 minutes, can you guys take a look at this? How accurate this fib is? 2667, 2663, okay? The 100%, the 50%, and the 60%, 61.8% on the fibs. Now, this is the 15-minute chart, by the way. So if you're an active trader, we might see VIX retesting the 2383, 2413. Okay? So we'll see what happens. Okay? So my point of view, what the markets will do, tomorrow we might shake off people, and then right at the end of the day, Microsoft earning. If Microsoft does a good job, then we're going to have a blast on Wednesday. And then if Apple does a great earning with Tesla and Facebook, they're both good. We're just going to blast through Thursday, and then Friday, bam, you're going to get caught. So just watch out for that. Okay. Now let's go back. I know it's been a long review, but I had to blow off some steam to these again, a couple people that are trying to get on my nerves. But it's been 24 minutes, so I'm just going to go ahead and review the stocks right now that we mentioned. Apple. I'm sorry if I forgot your request. I did note down everything that I saw. But there's some comments on YouTube, comments on Twitter. If you want to request something, just personally message me on Twitter, do a PM private message rather than writing on posts, because I have to go in every single post I did and try to read comments. It's very tough to figure out what you guys requested. So Apple, I mean, I don't think this is bullish. I'm not big on candle names. Like I believe this is Lone Star. Let's take a look. So when I say, like, I don't want to act like, you know, I know everything, right? If I don't know something, I'm pretty honest, and I told you I'm pretty average. I'm an average Joe. There's other great people out there that you can always revisit. So Lone Star candle. Let's see. Candle chart patterns. Okay. Candlestick chart patterns. All right. You can read all this. Investopedia is a great source. So this is basically where it's telling you that it's going to do a reversal, inverted hammer, bullish engulfing candles. You can all read all these, right? People expect me that, oh, since you're all knowing, go ahead and explain. I can't sit down and explain every single candle. I know them, right? But I can't go back. It'll take me days, right? This could be, so 3 white soldiers indicate a bullish pattern, but this could also be a bear flag and so forth, right? But what I wanted to do is types of candles, but it's not really showing me all the types. Shooting star, I think that's what it was. But shooting star is usually bullish and it finishes green. Shooting star, lonely star, I think, I don't know what it was. Sorry about this, guys, because Dragonfly Doji, it's not exactly that what we're seeing, but another thing that I wanted to mention, okay, so if you guys are using Thinkorswim, a lot of people think that, you know, ask me what I'm using. I'll tell you this. If you go to patterns, select patterns, and there's candlesticks. So there are bullish ones and bearish ones. So you can go ahead and research, and like what it will do is it'll go ahead, and if it catches some type of, you know, doji or engulfing candles and everything else, or hammers, right? And you can also, if you don't know what it is, this is a great way to, like, if you hit the question mark, it'll go ahead and load and tell you even the shape, and like it'll tell you what explanation of it. So this is a great source too, just to let you guys know if you want to know the candle patterns, and if you can't recognize them right now at one point, you can just, yeah, doji. It'll be this is a doji that we left, so exactly right here. Doji could be bearish or bullish. You can read more details off of it, but I just wanted to show you that you can. I'll redo this again. Go to patterns, go to select patterns, and then click candlestick, and you can go ahead and like it'll highlight things. Like if it finds it, it'll highlight things. Okay. Another way is if you go and do classic, it'll do all these, like, you know, things that we're talking about, like flag, right? Like flagging. I said, like, it goes like sideways, like a sideways channel. It's not like a triangle. Right, we talked about pennant, so just to recognize the difference, pennant is more triangular, has a, you know, it has this instinctive pattern, just like PLTR. I'm going to go over Corsair and LAZR, and pretty much they're in a big pennant. So you can actually select these, so you can go ahead and select these and click OK. So if Thinkorswim can recognize these, sometimes what you can also do is allow Thinkorswim to draw Fibonacci's for you, okay? On the ABCD 3-point extensions and so forth. It'll go ahead and, you know, do that for you, but I like to do it myself because the chart gets all messy anyways if you let the computer do it. Okay. So having said that, this is doji. It could be doji. Again, I'm not great with candles that much, and I don't really, when you do, you can't really predict with candles. You can't really solely depend on them. There's so many other factors you have to, you know, recognize. But having said that, Apple is going for 151. Rather it touches and bounces back all the way down to fill this gap at 133. I don't know, but I think that we're so close, and we've been saying 150, 151 area. So it might flag tomorrow, scare people. Maybe even Wednesday it might go low as 139. So let's go ahead and draw this. Reason why I say that is it's because if Apple is gonna have great earnings, they usually like to shake off people a little, scare them so they can grab the shares. So if you see Apple 140s, That's a good way. If you want to do commons or 150 calls, that's fine. Either way is fine. All right, so that's Apple. I did promise I'd do Amazon. We haven't done Amazon for a while. Now, this is what I'm scared of. Remember that we talked about diamond patterns. So let's go ahead and also research. So if people are complaining about me making up things, I can go ahead and do that. So stock chart diamond pattern, okay? So you see this diamond pattern? When you do a diamond pattern like this, you break down, it's going to go down pretty much halfway of your flagpole. Now the breakout is different because you're basically coming off the bottom. I think that this diamond formation is bearish. That's one thing. However, I don't expect Amazon to do bad earnings. So you see another diamond formation here. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull the chart back on. So you see this diamond formation here. So on any bearish news, if we go halfway, we're going to hit like 2700s right here. Now I don't know if Amazon, I doubt that Amazon is going to have bad earning, but we said that last time and it just crashed. Even though it's like 12.37 per earnings per share when it was 10 before. I just don't know if we get a crash, and we can get a support even at 330.90s. I don't know. So if you are investing in Amazon just because it has earnings, then I would rather take the risk somewhere else. Because again, I'm not talking about fundamentals. I don't have anything in my hand to go check their sales books or anything else. Their cloud, I actually do AWS project for government. So, I would say that AWS is pretty much one of the most popular cloud services that are used commercially and government-wise, federally. Okay? But the issue here is that sometimes a company can have great earnings, but just sell off. I don't know. I'd say I go 50-50 for Amazon. Honestly, you can say that you see a big pennant here, right? So if you ignore this, these two blue lines, the channels I drew, if you just look at the red ones, it's a pennant. So it can break out. Now you want me to tell you if it breaks out, the bullish case scenario, what it will be? I can do that. So it already hit the 61.8 extension. And you guys see when I do forecasts and people make fun of Fibonacci, people make fun of yellow boxes and so forth, right? So I did the extension from here. Now if we were to be here, you see the 61 coming back, 61 coming back, 61.8 coming back. When I say 61, 61.8, it has nothing to do with the price. I'm talking about the Fibonacci level. 33.42s are pretty much is the area for resistance. If we do break out, kind of like Netflix, I will say that conservatively, okay, 35.81 would be the level. Now, they just blow out the earnings. They have an incredible earning. Then we're looking at, I'm just going to round off the number, 4K. If you want to be exact, it's 39.69. Okay, I'm just rounding it off to 4,000. So do you guys now see why I do forecasts, how I do forecasts? And I admit it's a guess, but it's an educated guess. I'm not just taking numbers off my head, but I'm showing you that if this fib didn't work, it wouldn't have worked on the 61.8 level. Now, if you see a working fib, you're more confident that these targets might hit. Now, you want to know the bearish scenario? Yeah, sure. I'm not telling you to go buy puts, or I'm not. So don't misinterpret my sayings here. I'm just giving both the scenarios. If you're bearish, I'll give you levels. If you're bullish, I'll give you levels. But if you ask me where Amazon is going, honestly, I see a bullish sign, I see a bearish sign. So I don't touch it, okay? you see how the 61.8 on the bullish side is resistance here? On the bearish side, the 61.8 is also working out. Okay, you see the support, support, support. So if you see Amazon, you know, going lower on earnings, you got to do 3077, 2817. And again, please don't misinterpret my technicals here. I'm just giving both sides of the story. Now you can laugh and say, oh, are you crazy? It's not going to go to 23.95. But why am I not sounding crazy when I say, you know, 39.69? So people love the story when it's bullish, but people think it's silly when I give the bearish scenario. Why not? I mean, what? So 28.17, what are we on, like 32.67? So 32.67 minus what? Even the 100% fib is fine, 28.17. It's $450, so 32.90. I said 67, so let's do that. That's about 13% drop. Now, if Netflix goes up 16%, it's totally normal. If something goes up 16%, it's totally normal. But if something goes down 13%, it's not. It's also normal, guys. We've seen Palantir today from 20%, from like 39, what, 38.50 or 39 something. It went -9 at one split second. From, you know, positive 20 some plus percent, it went -9. That's a 30% move to the downside, guys. It happened within 5-10 minutes. You think Amazon can't drop 13%? Now rethink. And you can't. You think Amazon can't go to 4K? Think again. Okay. It's just that for me, I'm neutral on this. I can say the long-term diamond, but I can see the shorter-term pennant. So you take your side, guys. You take your gamble. I think this is at one point, it's a gamble. But now if you're long in the name, if you've been holding it, that's fine. But why hold this name from July to February and gain a single dime, not gain a single dime? That's another question for you guys. Now, if you're a long-term investor and you just put 401k and you're busy with your daytime job and so forth, that's fine. But if you're an active day trader, you're swing trader, if you're active swing trader, even weekly swings, why waste your time on such a stock? I'm not saying I'm not trashing Amazon. It's just that that's what I'm saying. Stock market is not made up of Amazon, Facebook, Apple, Google. So many names that I'm going to show you that we killed today. We literally were on fire today. Now, we didn't make millions. Again, this is a journey account, guys. I'm not saying, you know, I have friends that I gave him plays. He did, what did he do? He made 115,000 on Friday, and he didn't sell today. He was up like 73K today. And with that flash crash, he went -1,000, and then he finished the day with 68K on one account and then 28K on the other account. So in 2 days, he made about, you know, 180, 190K. Now you're a big player, you're a big bowler. You know, I have some accounts that I manage. I have some accounts that I, you know, tell my friends they manage it. They can, you know, they're other, you know, big bowlers, but that's why I don't like I don't like showing big accounts. That's why I've just created this account to do the journey with you guys. Because it's dismotivating seeing an account that already has 200K, 250K, with margin they have 500K buying power, and the stock goes down 2%, 3%. They don't give a heck. They just keep on averaging it down. They eventually win. But the average Joe here, we can't day trade. We can't do that. We can't do this. Margin is limited and so forth. That's what I want to live through. That's why I want to show you guys that these technicals will work with every single person. Okay. All right. Having said that, I know I'm taking a lot of time with these videos. It's not easy to watch or record, but let's take the advantage of it, guys. I'm not seeing any. I respect all these people, and they don't have to do it free. You know, that it's their time. That they're, you know, it's their right to, you know, put a price tag on it. But you know, we're doing it free. We're doing it, you know, taking our time. Just sit and enjoy. You know, if you're investing, guys, think this way, right? You put $20,000. Do you want to watch a single 1 minute, 2 minute video, or do you want to watch a 15-minute analysis that is carefully done with both sides of the story, both bullish and bearish scenario? You want to spend 20-30 minutes at least for your 20K, 10K, even 5K, right? So your salary is $2,000 a month. You're barely gonna, you know, save $100, $200. I don't know if you have a family or not. That $200 is worth to that person as much as a rich person having 100K. So I'm not talking about the budget or the values or amounts. I'm talking about the percentage. How much that value could be small, but it could be worth a lot to you. So you don't want to just listen to a 2-minute video and put your savings there. So you want to, you know, do your own due diligence. The value doesn't matter. It is how hard you work and how much sweat you put to save that money, and you're putting it in the market. I want to give you that value. I want to give you that, you know, time and effort so that I can educate you and give you different perspectives. I might be wrong. You can check me with other great, you know, services. So just, you know, do that double stitching to make sure that, you know, you're on the safe side. But that's what I got to conclude. If I'm spending time, there's a reason to it. Okay. Next stock, NVDA. Beautiful pennant. I'd rather go with NVIDIA than Amazon, but again, NVIDIA is just bouncing off, building momentum. The stochastics, MACD especially is ready on the run. I'd say that this is going to be, if you're going to play earnings, it's a gamble anyways, right? It's a 50-50 chance. I did the gamble on IBM and they killed me. I was down 18K. Again, like, sorry, I was down 1,800 on the Journey account. That's like 10% of the account value. But I showed you how I handled that, you know, on the last video, how I handled that losing psychology, made up that 1,800, plus I put 700 more on top of it the same day. And then you'll see what I did today. So sometimes losing is good. Sometimes when you lose, you want to go out in the forest. Clueless 8 Frank, thank you, and he's another great trader, paid service. I recommend him to everybody. You know, he used to say this, Frank, my guy, man. He used to say, you know, if you want to tell yourself, go out in the woods, yell out, I'm an idiot, I'm stupid, and just slap yourself. Sometimes you need that. Okay, but then next day you wake up and you're king of the forest. You're the lion. You want to attack the market like a lion. Okay, you want to be brave, and that's what you got to do. So I'll show you some, because I lost at 1,800. I think because I lost that, I went out like a lion-hearted, and I came back up with 40% in 2 days. Maybe if I didn't make that mistake, I'd probably be at 5%. Okay, so that's how the story goes. Sometimes you have to make a mistake to come out harder and better from it, right? So NVIDIA, what do I see from NVIDIA? Broke out above the red cloud, Ichimoku cloud. If it retests 540s, buy with both hands. Again, I mean, when I say buy with both hands, if you're looking to buy it, not a buy recommendation, but an educational guess here that this level would be a buying opportunity. Now let's take a look at the extension here. I could do like 2 different extensions. Let's see. So sometimes this is a question that I get. How do you know where to choose the fib levels? I just don't know. I read the charts a lot, so I just do an educated guess from experience, and then it just by luck comes out true. So I did this pattern, and the 100%, the 61.8s, the 50s, all accurate. So then I know that, okay, this fib is pretty good. But if you go to do this extension, you can try this too. So you can do this, top, bottom. Now there's nothing wrong with it. The 50% still works. So let's do this, right? Let's square out the 50 and the 60s, and then let's square out the 100. We're going to compare the two, okay? And then let's square out the 161. Okay. Now let's go back and redo this extension again, but the other way around. You can see that levels are so close to each other. So this one is a little bit more down. And I like the conservative one. And I'll go with the conservative one. There's nothing wrong with being conservative, guys. So I like these levels, 591, 651, okay? Now you can do a short range one. You can do a short extension one, which I think is better for the earnings. But I think that this fib is so accurate that I go with this, okay? But I also want to draw another extension. Again, this is roughly drawn. So what we're going to do is we're going to fix this box. So when I have the box width, right, and I'm talking about like the box bottom, the box top, I don't draw these randomly, guys, because I do like a one further out extension and a lower one. So this tells me like, okay, it could be both. If I'm playing this extension, then it could be both ends, okay? So this extension pretty much covers the 51, 61, covers this range anyways. So let's go up and let's fix this box to here, okay? Got it? So that's how I do my squares, and people think they're ovals or circles and just like, you know, do bad comments on these things. These are not ovals. If you're retarded, you can think that way. These are rectangles, okay? And they're yellow if you're, you know, not able to comprehend that. And reason why I draw these boxes are not because I randomly draw them. It's because mathematically we go to a certain point of ABCD waves, ABC patterns, the extensions on both the longer or the shorter side of the story. And then when I combine the two fibs, I draw the range. Now, if you believe that this is a wrong way, and if I'm completely wrong with the technicals, be my guest and challenge me, and then I'll go back to my videos and just check out how accurate we were versus how accurate you were. And then if you're more accurate, let me know and I'll fix the things, you know, that I need to fix. But this is NVIDIA. Now, you might think I'm sounding too bullish for this, but I believe it's time, guys. I believe this is a great company. It might be overvalued. I don't care. The technicals are ready. If we hit 591 and 651, 652, let's say, I would not be surprised. You guys want me to give you the bearish scenario? Fine. Simply, you just take the highest point of this pennant, the lowest point, and then the next highest point. Do the fibs match? Of course, yeah. The fibs always play out. Look at this. Look at the 50%, guys. Support, 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 support. Got not enough, close to 61. The body of this candle is 61.8. Okay. But now you want me to say where this will go? It's perfectly fine. Here it goes. Going to go from this range to this range. And most bearish scenario, which I don't think it will happen, but we got to draw it. Now you want me to draw the box widths? Yeah, I can do that as well. So you do another extension and you get the top of here, the bottom of here, and the previous top here, okay? Now here we go. I'm going to draw another box here. Let us fix the box here so that we know the top of the box is a fib and the bottom of the box is another fib. Or let's do this actually. I want to do this. This will be more accurate of a drawing. Okay, so did I answer your questions how I come up with this box? Are they random? Am I just autistic? And some people call me autistic for drawing these. Some people, you know, said that I don't know what I'm doing. I think I don't know what I'm doing. We can call, that's why my great friend Frank, Clueless 8 Frank, he always says that, you know, I'm clueless. Of course he's not. This guy told everybody to buy GameStop at $8 freaking. It went up to 150. and he himself calls him clueless. I can call myself retarded if he calls himself clueless. Of course we don't know what we're talking about. Of course we don't know the future. We're just guessing, estimating where the future can be on mathematical equations. If you don't like it, that's fine. You can spin a bottle and you can figure out where it's going. Okay, so that's what it is. These are the levels. Now, let me zoom out. You want to, screenshot the video and watch the levels, that's fine. But every single box we put here, the location is not made up. The width of the boxes are not made up. Okay. So NVIDIA, that's all, guys. And then we have Corsair is my baby here, guys. We have it on our account. Why I have it on the account? I have it on the account, number one reason, 36% short. Or number one reason, this is a solid company. Internal coolers, RAM, power supply, you name it, these guys make it. Keyboards, mouse, anything, right? Anything to do with gaming. Gaming got hot during, I think the earnings are going to, just like here, guys, earnings are just going to blow out, flag, and then just run up. And shorts are going to get burned the heck out. Now, did I like today's action? No, but did I know this was going to happen? Look at the body of the candle, guys. Look at where it closed, 39.26. Okay, so it's pretty darn close to where our fib extension is. The bottom is pretty supportive. I don't think it's going to go any lower than 35 because they just had common shares. What did they do? Like sold shares at 35. So your safest bet is if you're going in 39, save some cash, as low as it's going to go to is 35. Maybe the bottom cloud right here is like 34 point. I don't know. But if this baby runs, oh my God. Now let me just show you what I mean by this, right? Now I'm not sure if FinViz is updated all the time because TD Ameritrade said that, let me take a look what TD Ameritrade says. 1 second, give me a second. Corsair. Even though I don't think we need the elite service. It says 17 million shares. I don't know if it has. So shares on float actually is the shares that are available on the market. Okay. I think TD Ameritrade, what they do is they tell you the total amount of shares. So Corsair, I'm just looking at my phone app right now. Shares outstanding. So the difference between shares outstanding and share float is the shares that are on the market that are trading. This is the total amount of shares available in the company. Now it says shares outstanding is 91.92 million. So I think the shares that they sold for 35 recently is not added here. I don't know if they sold like what 5-6 million of shares. If they're added on the float, yeah, obviously. So we're gonna have more shares on the market, but on TD Ameritrade, short percentage of short interest is 36.48 cents December 31st. So December 31st, it hasn't been updated. I'm guessing FinViz might be more up to date. 32%, guys. So if share, let's just round this off and say 20 and 32% of 20 million. That's how many shorts, and institution ownership is 90%. And guys, does this chart look familiar to what Palantir is? Yes. Yes. Look at Palantir chart. You see this pattern? Bam. That's exactly what I'm waiting for on Corsair. As soon as we break out this level right here and maybe that double top, I hate to have the triple bottom or triple top, that's a bearish sign, but I believe that earnings and everything is just going to fly. At least to 55. Now let's go ahead and work some charts instead of just guessing, right? So what I just did 55 is a guessing because sometimes when I look at charts and things like that, because I draw so many fibs and you can just guesstimate. And usually you're both parked 1 or 2% off. Okay. Let's do another extension from here. You see the difference, guys? This is amazing. So the one in the white is this extension I drew, and the one in the blue is this part of the extension that I drew. 161.8 is exactly the same number on both the fibs. Now that is amazing. Now let's go ahead and fix these width of the yellow box. And then we can go ahead and do this. And then we can delete this. You wanna see a bearish extension on this one? What did I say? 34.6, the bottom of the cloud. Where does it go? Bottom of the cloud on the extension. Okay. So this is not a pure coincidence. Every single, now rather you use Ichimoku and don't care about Fibonacci because you don't care about drawing extensions, that's fine guys, because that's, you can also call off levels from there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I just don't think this will go to 100% fib on the downside. I think that the 34.6, 34.8 is pretty supportive because that's where they sold their last shares. And the shares are valuable, guys. Look at the last earning. Look. You think that if the earning on the, I'm not sure how accurate it is, on February 9th, just be patient till February 9th. You think if this company, gamers aren't like buying anything, you think people just all of a sudden started working and they don't, buy computer parts, they don't like Corsair, all of a sudden, the squeeze is going to be larger than this time. Squeeze is going to be greater this time. It'll be amazing on this one. That's all I gotta say. I believe in the company just like Palantir, and I think this is the next Palantir. Okay. All right, so Corsair, we're done. This one we have the name. I'll go over that. FUBO is another name we bought today, and we're holding the largest share, the largest percentage of shares we're holding is on FUBO or FUBO, whatever you want to call it. Football TV, I think that's what they meant to, Look at the buy volume here, descending volume on the sell, buy volume kicked in. I think next target is 48 and 57. Ultimate target, I wouldn't be surprised, 74. I'm drawing the box right here, so people are not gonna, talk trash. Now, reason why, I don't care about the fundamentals of the company. Everything that is technical on this chart is telling me to buy. Number one, look at the MACD cross. Now, the last time it happened, it took its sweet time. Okay, maybe we didn't have such shorts back then. Everybody's afraid of earnings. Don't worry. Earnings is, I don't know when, but like, what does it say? March 25th. I don't know how accurate that is. Now, I think we're beginning on a next bull run. And I'm going to go over what the price point is on the channels and on the fib. Volume. Sell off was great, of course. Then we got the buy and the descending volume, and then we're getting the buys right here. Okay. So just be patient with this. And it's going to pay off, and I'm going to tell you a couple of reasons. We're going to look at some of the short percentage, number of shares available, and so forth. Stochastics climbing up, perfect. RSI is picking up while the stock is moving, perfectly fine. Everything is going the right direction, guys. Now, I drew the chart and I gave you the targets, and we hit the targets already. Now we're at, our next target is 48, 62, 57, and then 74. But I just want to show you again something that I really like. This is going to be the next GameStop. 65% short float on a 52 million shares. That is nearly 34 million shares shorted. That's just blowing off my mind. I don't know what the shorts are thinking. I don't know if they didn't see what happened to GameStop. But let's go ahead and let me go ahead and on my phone, I'm going to go ahead and check out what FUBO, what TD Ameritrade gives the numbers. Shares outstanding, they say 67.56, so perfectly matching, but the float is only 52%, are only available on the market. And held by institution is absolutely correct. Short shares, short interest is 60.66 on December 31st, 2020. So I guess the short interest has grown 5% more. So all of these numbers seem to match with TD Ameritrade, so they're up to date. I think that you see this trend line right here. I think that we're going to go past 60s and we're going to hit 75, and it's going to be like 1 week, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When the shorts burn, and you can sell whenever you want. I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you to buy. I'm not telling you to sell. I'm just showing you technicals. That's one thing. But so let's look at how and where it could go by the trend lines. Oop, I think I zoomed out too much. I could do a pitchfork if I wanted to, actually. We might hit 57, come back down, maybe as deep as 40, and just climb back up. Okay. So this is the weekly trend. So don't worry about it. I could be wrong, but let's go ahead and do the daily one. And I want to see if we can do a pitchfork and see if how that's going to work out. What is this extension going downwards to the bear scenario? And look how these boxes, guys, somebody asked me FUBO, I think, back then, and that's why I drew it. And you're making fun of these boxes. You can go ahead and make fun of the boxes all you want, but how accurate are these boxes? You just go ahead and tell me. Okay. And when did we get, when did I draw this? We drew it when it was right here at 38. Somebody asked me if I should buy it. I said, wait for a 50 to 61% retracement and then buy it. Now we can do another, again, we can technically, I don't want to spend too much time. If I sit down, I can work on this for hours. You can draw another trend line. Okay. You can hit the 100%, 46.82, come back down again to 38, and even as far as 33. I don't know if that's going to happen, and then go back up. So you have another trend. Okay, it's your choice, but you know, take a look at it. I'm going to go on the next one. LAZR. This is another name we own, and this is another pennant that I think it already broke out, and the MACD is ready on this. You see this? You see the crossover? This is a bullish crossover. Now, if we get the green bars, that's ready to go. We got stuffed basically right on the, so sometimes what happens is, and I say this, if I draw a box like this and during the day we go in the middle, sell it. Because at the end of the day, I could promise you that we're going to finish right at the 50 fib. So 37.45, 37.38, right around there. Okay. So that's what you got to worry about is if we do a crossover. Now, what would be the retracement? So let's click retracement. Let's click this bottom of the candle and go to the top of the candle. And it basically retraced it within a day. So the 50 fib line and the 61, so if it comes back down again, 34 would be a great buying opportunity. 32 would be a great buying opportunity. We just have to see it on the daily. It went and retraced it within the day. So sometimes this flash crash during the day kind of helps, and then it'll just pick up. So I believe that 39 is the first level, and if it just like Palantir, I don't think this has short squeeze, but if it just breaks out, I think we're going to see 46. So those are the levels that I am eyeing on it. Why is this? Let me delete this box. It's so big. Okay. Okay, so can we go more higher? Yeah, the most bullish scenario will be $57. Now again, I think there's another trader, Cybercash on Twitter, and that person also puts targets, and I think, I don't want to like promote people to people think I'm pumping up, like I don't know if they're a paid service or not, so if I say these names, like don't think I'm promoting, but that I think that person gave out like 57 target on this one. I'm not sure, but it does make sense to me that it, 161 extension is $57. So let's see how this works. Very low float shares on the Tesla earnings. If this picks up with Tesla, we're definitely hitting 46. Skills was another request, so let's take a look. All I can say is Skills, I think this was already merged with a SPAC, and where I see this going is 161 extension is 3163. Okay, now it's definitely flagging. Okay, it's a powerful move. It's flagging. I don't know too much. I think it's a gaming company, this company. I'm not sure too much of what the company does, but if you do get a retracement, look for the 2750, and eventually it'll break out of this, right? So what I can tell you is this. You see how these like Fibonacci's almost meet each other, and they're not exactly same because I might have, like, I'm not zooming in and typing the exact numbers, but the most bullish scenario will be 3463. I'm not, again, pumping up the stock. I don't want to pump up the stock because I don't know the company as much. Some companies I know really well, right? But I can say that the technicals pretty much worked out darn good on this, because if it hit the 100% fib, came back and retraced the 50 fib, and then the 100% extension is now, the fib line is now supportive. I think the next move will be 3163 and then 3465. Okay, so that's Skills. And again, I don't know what business they're doing. I don't know if they're profitable. I don't know their tech and so forth. So that's another, due diligence you have to do. IVR was another name. I think I was asked if this was going to be a short squeeze or not. Riat names, what is it? Rental and enterprise something. I don't know what the meaning is. I forgot. But basically, loan, lease, mortgage, and all that, leasing and renting. I think that's what its business is. Broke out big time. Now I remember I charted this for a request, and I said the only question I have in mind is this resistance, right? Broke out, came back in to fill the extension, and you notice that it hit the exact, so I'm sure that if you're following it, and I drew this line way back when, and look at this hammer with a great green candle. I think if we get an inside day, so if you see anywhere trading between 36 and 30, I'm sorry, 3.65 to 3.8, it goes up and down an inside day. So I want to show you what an inside day looks like. So something like this in a way. So you have the body of the candle, and the next candle is trading inside the body of the candle previously. So that's totally normal for this. It's just building momentum. Only thing that I just can't be sure of is I'm not really hot in the sector, meaning I don't know too much about the sector. The only thing I can do right here is just draw this extension. And I'm sorry if I sound so like clueless, because I just don't know, because these before the crash had IVR, MITT, these names, right? I knew already, but these names before the crash, they had great, they're known for their dividends, okay? They're known for their dividends, and they have basically been a dividend stock. I don't know how the short percentage will be working out for this. But these are my levels, 413, 474. And I said this before, if you're investing in these names, forget them for a couple of years. Okay? Forget them for a couple of years. So all I gotta say is that the long target, maybe 3-4 years, when everything is good, people are, you know, back into buildings, then you can see the gap fill here. Kind of like, I don't want to do like technical analysis on Boeing, but you see this gap right here. It's a major gap basically, and what it did was it filled it. Okay, it filled it, came back. We'll go over airlines tomorrow. I know a lot of people have questions about airlines, and I kept saying, don't jump in, don't jump in. People are giving ridiculous. And some of Puppy Trace is another name that I follow actually on Twitter and YouTube. Great guy. I like his positive attitude. I like everything he does. He uses pitchforks, another name that I recommend following. But when I say recommend, don't follow anybody blindly, even me, right? Don't follow anybody blindly, okay? You are your own individual. You're going to make your own decision. You are the lion of the jungle. You got to act, you got to have a lion heart when you're trading. So don't just go in because somebody told you to do so. But if you trust, if you respect the name, you can, weigh their analysis. So I think he's been pretty, what I've seen, so because a lot of people are asking me about these airlines and cruises, and what I notice is I'm like, why are these people asking me? And then I noticed that I follow the guy. Actually, I really like his analysis. Great Puppy Trace again. Again, not pumping. I don't know if he's a paid service or not, but I see his YouTube channel. I think he's pretty much doing the videos how I'm doing, free content. And I think he's been bullish on these names. He might be correct. I respect him. I think he's a better name than I am. You can also watch him. Nothing wrong with me promoting anybody. I'm not afraid of losing subs. Because only reason I'm doing it is trying to help people. So if I think another name will help you, I'll tell you to go watch them. So Puppy Trades is another name that I fully respect on Twitter and on YouTube. And I think he's been bullish and looking for a breakout. And that's when people try to tell me, that's what I've noticed, the pattern that a lot of people have been telling me to go for these sectors. But I've said that every time you get a breakout, do not trust it, because I see the negative divergence here. I don't see any bullish signs yet. I don't see the MACD being ready. I don't see the stochastics being ready. MACD still hasn't crossed over. Boeing has earnings. GE has earnings. SPR, all these airlines, let the earnings come and go, right? First of all, don't ride the storm if you're not sure yet. So what happens with these names is that they have like terrible earnings and then buy after 2-3 days of the earnings. So if earnings come out and Boeing says 192, or they're at 188, which is totally possible. That's the 100-day moving average. That's where you want to buy it. The danger is if it loses 100-day moving average, then it's a really dangerous. So you see this earnings, right? 1, 2, 3. On the third day, it looked like it lost 100 support, 100-day moving average, and then just ran up all the way to the cloud top. So expect the same thing. Have a support around 187, and then just run up to the cloud top, which is 221. Again, I would say it's reasonable. So let me actually add Boeing to my list when I do the YouTube. Pretty much we reviewed the name. So again, totally respect Puppy Trades. I really like his attitude, energy, the way he's trying to help people, and his Twitter. Also, I follow him. He will be right eventually. So don't like, even if he gives you a number, don't like disrespect it, because he's usually 100% right all the time. It's just that when you manage your trades, don't go in because he said it, because he's again doing educational videos. He's not a financial, I'm assuming he's probably not a financial advising service or a company. So if he says, Boeing 262, Boeing 336, Well, damn, he's right. It's just that you got to tell some people when to get in, when to. I mean, it's not my business to tell people when is the right time, but I just want to spend that extra 5-6 minutes. That's why my videos are longer, to tell you, look, okay, I'm bullish on the name. Obviously, there's a descending wedge. There's a flag. You can call it a flag. You can call it a pennant, whatever you want. It's just that the earnings have been acting the same way for a couple, quarters. Earnings downfall for the 3 days, 100%, 100 moving day average support, and then bounce, and then fall. Okay, so same thing could happen. The earnings 1, 2, 3 days, wait for the third day, and then just go back in. That could be the very well, and I think 187 would be my target to get in. And if the internals get fixed. Let's do another one. BNGO. Oh my God, I love this stock. If I had the day trade, so what happened was we did go over well above 25K, but because we closed 25K below 25K on Friday, I couldn't do day trading. But because I sold all my options and everything, so I had some cash. So what I did is, and I bought this Friday, by the way, before the close, 1,000 shares. That's what our money was allowed. Again, unfortunately, the account size is small. I would have gotten at least 10,000 shares. And this is one of the things like Puppy Trade does, is he's pretty, like, he uses this pitchfork like a Bible, guys. He's pretty good at it too. So I'm not really professional on the pitchfork. He has videos that explains it well as well. So it's totally good to review those things. I sold it obviously right around here. Okay. And that, I'm sorry, right around here. The flash crash happened. I picked it. So you guys think I'm going to lie, right? When is the bottom of this? 1048. No, 1045 is the lowest. As soon as I said, okay, it's going towards the 20-day moving average. And I always show you things that, when I say something, like, I want you to know that, I'm credible. 1048. That was my second buy. Okay. So what did we do today? Again, all on here. Sold it around 1231, 1,000 shares, and then bought it back at 1048, half the share. Because when I day trade, only thing I had was I got into other names. I wish I had, enough to buy back that 1,000 share, but unfortunately I had enough money to buy back the 500. So not complaining, because from here to here, that's 3K, 3,100. And then after I bought it, we're up another 960, up 18% on. Okay. What is 3K in 3.10? So let's do that as well. 3,100 divided by 92.65. That's 33. Okay. Plus 18%. Just today, we made 51% on the trade. It's like trading options, guys, for BNGO. 51%. Now, I could have done, actually what I could have done is, if I put 1,000 shares back, I don't regret it because I had to buy other names, but this was a beautiful move. I think 1231 we said. I think I sold it like right somewhere in between this pickup. It did move a little higher than I expected, but then bam. So how do I know? So 1048 is the lowest on lowest that could be seen on Robinhood, but it never picks up the lowest point. Where's my buying point? Average cost 1048. You want to see my buying time? Just to tell you, I'm not I don't want to say it. I'm not BSing. 11:14 a.m. Okay, that's when I bought 500 shares at 1048. I didn't do a cost averaging, right? I sold 1,000 shares. I got back at 11:14. When is the lowest point? 11:10. Let's see. This I don't know how the chart moves, but let's do Ameritrade so that it looks, or the Thinkorswim. It'll tell us exactly where the thing is. So let's do 5 minutes. 1105, 1110, 1115, 1119. I got it. So I got it at the lowest possible point. So what do you guys think on that? And what was my intention, or what was the signal that I bought it on? I went to hourly and I just looked at the 20-day moving average. I said, I'm taking the risk. I can't buy back the 10,000 shares, but hey, I sold it at 12 something. I'm buying it back 30% cheaper. And I put half the shares, unfortunately. Now, the one thing that I didn't like on the close is it couldn't get over the 9-day moving average. So what I wanted to do is, what I'm going to sell it at is 1327, which hit to the point. So again, I had a couple of friends ask me after this drop, they got in. Obviously, I told them. And then what happened was they said, where would it go? I said 1327. Look at this candle. Where did it go? The highest point is 13.3. 3 cents off. Now, how incredible is that? Now, you complain about me drawing random squares. Look at the support. You complain me about drawing random Fibonacci's, then that's your problem. I think I have enough bots of attacking me. That's one problem, but I think I'm just going to shut down stock tweets overall. That's the issue. So anyhow, what happens is from here, 1327 and 1393. Now, if you're super bullish and we go through like conferences, I don't know their conference schedule, 1607 is the most bullish scenario you could ever get. Now, if you're thinking that you can average more on the 1167, which I think will be the next support if we get a crash. So write that down, 1167. So let me actually fix this box. Well, I think I just lost the Fibonacci box. I don't know where that last Fibonacci was, but let's do that. Okay. Now, I don't know if this moving average will climb up a little more, so I can't be exact. But this thing has another 20-30% move. And I've said that if you look at my last video, I told you guys that I bought it before the close on Friday, and this thing just exploded today. 30% went down, got it, and move another 18%. That's just amazing, guys. Okay, that's BNGO. That's when I said I'd rather just get away from Apple. I'd rather get away from Amazon and pick these names, because how long do you have to wait for Apple to move 30%? Now, again, you can put 200,000 for Apple and just close your eyes and sleep. And you can't put 200,000. I mean, you can, but you got to be you got to have some large pocket to have $200,000 and just sleep comfortable on these kinds of medical names. By the way, it's a good company, but it's just not Apple. So you weigh the risk and you do your own due diligence and you make the profit. Last name, AY. I'm sorry, this video has been 1 hour 22 minutes. It's ridiculously long. AYRO. I pretty much made 9% on this today after hours. I don't know what moved it. I like the daily chart on it. I love this curl. Look at, so when I say, when you're on this run and tier, I don't like to get in. But when I see a rounding bottom, so I'm going to explain what that is in a second. Let's take a picture. So when you see a rounding bottom like this, and then eventually this will be your target to get in, cloud top. I mean, you can get in here, but you can't always catch it. So bam, you see this move? Now, rounding bottom, okay? Where you want to get in is if it crosses, I don't know what this is, I'll get it. This point right here, I don't know what this is. If it goes, it's going to go here and here. So let's do the extension. Our extension will be this bottom, this top, and this bottom. The second extension will be this bottom, this top, and this bottom right here. So let's go ahead and draw them. So let's go with the first extension. Let's delete this one. Let's delete this one. So 1, nope, 1, No, that was a retracement. I'm sorry. Extension is 1, 2, and 3, the 100%, and went down. And the next extension is 1, 2, and 3. So we'll draw two boxes. One is here, and the other one is here. So it already hit the 50 fib. There you go. Now we can delete all these fibs. What I want to do is, I want to delete this one and keep this one. Okay. So there you go. Those are our goals. So you're looking for 732, 807, and 928. Okay. I like the rounding bottom. If it breaks above this 61.8 or above the top of this yellow box, we're going to the moon. Okay. I'll probably sell it. I don't know. I might need the cash to buy more Corsair and LAZR, but let's see. That's it. It was a long video. I'm really tired of speaking, charting. I hope you enjoyed the time. And one more thing that I promised to you guys, last thing before we go, is the Robinhood account. Okay. Oh, we lost some after hours. We were up more. I think, what is it? LAZR pulled some back. I was up 600 something on LAZR. FUBO is there. BNGO might give a little, yeah, it kind of, I don't know what it did. So we kind of lost like $200 today after hours, but that's fine. That's fine. Not crying about it because holy crap, guys, 31.3%. All some on options from Friday, most of them equity today. This is crazy. The greatest day on this journey account today is, well, I mean, we don't have a long history, 3 months anyways, but the ups and downs will come. What matters is your motivation, picking the right stock, buying at the right point. And if you still think like Palantir, when we were up 8K and when we went down to almost zero, I knew what the hell I was doing. I didn't care if Palantir went down to 18 because I had enough cash to keep on buying, and buying. And then I said, you guys will see it. Bam. Now, if I just held on to Palantir, I would have probably been up like, up to like 37K. I just had to sell Palantir. I didn't know. I just sold it on the fib levels. I didn't know it was going to extend to that, 100% fib. I sold it around somewhere midway of the 61.8 and 100. But I bought the options, made great amount of money on it. Great amount of money on it. I think up to 600% on it. So I'm not complaining. I didn't miss anything from Palantir because I did. So we're on margin. We're fully cashed. We're on margin. The names we're on is Corsair, and these are the total return. I got in them today. So anyways, so this one I sold and got in. Sold 1,000 total shares and then got back in again with 500 shares. So FUBO at one point today was actually, for me, we were up like $2,300 up. So at one point, actually, the account was up 36.3%. We kind of gave away 5%. That's, that's kind of bad. It was upsetting. But who am I to get upset, guys? Last Thursday, I was crying my butt out. We were at 23.6. We went down to 19. It's not really showing. I lost $1,800. And I said, this is how the losing psychology works, guys. Here you go. And I pulled the magic. Bam, 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 bam. 38% from last week. 49% from last month. 107% the last 3 months, which is the total. That's where we began. The range of 14.9 something. Well, I began with 10,000 with the Palantir averaging down. So I promised myself that I'd only stay with 10,000. I had to average down, so I added 4.9K. Up we go, baby. So we finally can now day trade. Now I'll leave it up to the YouTube comments. Do you want me to day trade, or do you want me to still be the average Joe and only do swings? That I'd love to see on the comments. Having said that, I'm going to go celebrate this win on the Journey account. We established all our goals, all our promises. We delivered everything we said, and I need to celebrate this tonight. So enjoy your night, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Oh, one more thing. Please forget to subscribe and give us likes.